Okay, what's going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Today we have a very special guest on the show.
We have former BAMMA lightweight champion and Cage Warriors welterweight contender, Rhys Skeletor McKee. How are you doing, Rhys?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Very nice introduction. So it's always nice to be introduced nicely. So thank you very much.
Some people have said, now it might have been my dad, that I'm the Bruce Buffer of podcast introductions.
Well, it's probably the best one I've had in a long time. So, I mean, I'm not going to argue.
You have to check out the other episodes. He's brilliant. Like he's going to take over Bruce Buffer's job.
Yeah, we had a Josh Thompson on the podcast there the other day, and oh my god, it was like the longest introduction ever. Actually messed it up. It was that long.
You made it hard for yourself.
Oh yeah, well no, he made it hard for me by achieving so much.
No, I dare him. What a selfish man.
I know, yeah. He had to fight for every organisation ever existing.
He's been busy.
Yes.
Rhys, first of all, welcome to the show. We may as well get into the start of it. How are you getting on? Are you doing much training during this time in shutdown?
Yeah, I'm keeping busy. I'm lucky enough I'm in the position I have my own gym. So, I mean, I still have a set of keys for that. So I'm able to chip away at that and stuff. You know, obviously, you kind of can do the basics. Like everybody's doing at home running and home workouts and whatnot. But as for MMA and stuff, it's kind of non-existent. I hit a bag and, you know, it's frustrating, but I understand we're all in the same situation at the minute.
Yeah.
And Rhys, tell us, how did you get started out in MMA? And also, congratulations on your gym. What age are you, 24?
24, yeah, 24.
24 and you're on your own gym. Like, that's good going, man. Fair play to you.
Yeah, I've been busy.
And how did you get kicked off in MMA?
So I used to play football for like a local football team. It was like nothing to get excited about or anything, but it was like under 15, under 16, and you know I was playing there and kind of not getting anywhere. And it was the pre-season, and I was looking for something to get fitter. And there was a local MMA club, and my brother wanted to go as well. So we both went along to an MMA club, and that was really it. I kind of fast tracked everything, and in the local grappling competition, nearly got my arm broke in about 10 seconds, and that was the hook, line, and sinker. So ever since then, I never really looked back. I never put on a pair of football boots again.
And Rhys, at what stage did you realise you were actually very talented at it and you were better than most people at it?
That's a question. That's a funny question for me because it's like I didn't realise I had potential until about 10 fights in, if that makes sense. You know, I was so busy doing the thing. When the time I realised I was already like 10 fights deep, so it was kind of easy, you know. There was never a moment where I had to be sat down and said, "Listen, you could do this." I was already kind of doing it, and then I kind of said, "Listen, this is going well." So,
Rhys, so I was actually at your last amateur fight because I was actually cheering against you. You actually submitted an own drum duel with a guillotine at Battle Zone. We were actually there for that because my brother was trained in the same gym as Owen Drumgoole at the time, and I knew him quite well. I still know him. He lives off in Australia now, and that was actually your last amateur fight. What do you think the big differences between amateur and pro in Ireland? Because a lot of people are saying now that the amateur is almost as good as the pro in Ireland.
Yeah, and I wouldn't argue with that. Like I train with a lot of pros and amateurs, and you know, there's a lot of amateurs would do my rounds as much as the pros. So, you know, I think back in the day it was pros over there and amateurs over here, but nowadays the level's so high, and I think that is because in Ireland we have like this culture of like, you know, we all train in the same gym floor, and you know, there's not a pro class and an amateur class, we're all as one. So the amateur standard here is very, very high. But as for the differences, you know, as I've kind of said, there isn't really much of a difference. You know, obviously you've got your round times and your gloves and stuff, but I think when you're that level anyway, that's stuff that is really irrelevant.
Yeah. Rhys, you were obviously the BAMMA champion at lightweight. You went up and even had a crack at welterweight at Terry Brazier at the time. When Bellator sort of acquired all of BAMMA, how come you went the Cage Warriors route? What sort of, you know, made you go that direction? And was there an offer from Bellator at the time?
Yeah, we didn't have a conversation. We had an inquiry from Bellator, but it was shut down very early. And for me, it's always been UFC. Like that's ever since I went professional, I was like, right, I want to go to the top. And for me, the UFC is the top organization You can argue this and say other promotions are doing it, but people will remember the people who were in the UFC, and that's a fact. So for me, Bellator was totally against this. It would have totally pulled me back, and Cage Warriors at the time was the one producing so many UFC fighters. So no brainer.
Yeah, Rhys, I remember I first saw you. I know Ross, you said you saw you in your last appearance as an amateur, but I remember seeing you at Bama 30 when you drew Richie Smullen. First of all, one of the best draws I've ever seen. I think Ross can agree with that as well.
Yeah, I think that's the best Irish fight of all time.
Yeah, but the crowd that you brought with you all the way from up in Belfast as well was unbelievable. And like after that fight, I was like, this guy has serious talent as well. So ever since that, I've been like following your career ever since.
Yeah, it was a mad kind of fight. You know, like I done Canada for a training camp for that, and I was coming off a loss, and I was in a weird place. Like I was just happy to be fighting again, and I remember at the time, like going into the third round, I was thinking it was close, and I was like, flip. I've been having so much fun that I haven't tried to win the fight, and I know that that's kind of hard to like explain, but like I was just in there to fight. I wasn't there to win, you know. And
yeah,
but that was a good fight.
Oh, it was more than a good fight.
Yeah.
Obviously, your goal at the moment, Rhys, is to get to UFC. And I believe I read somewhere someone said, if I don't get to UFC in 2020, this year was a failure. Do you know who said that?
I think it was me.
I think it was. Tell me this: UFC Dublin, August. Is that the goal now?
I can't. You know, if you asked me this the last month before we were in lockdown, I would say I have to be on the card. There can be no one else on the card bar me. But I think it all depends now. If we're being realistic on how the lockdown plays out, I don't know if that event will even happen. I don't know if Cage Warriors want me for one more fight or two more fights. I'm not really sure. I am totally for either option. I'll go win the Cage Warriors title first if they want. If UFC says to Cage Warriors, let us have him, I'm sure I'll go there too. So yeah. I'm kind of relaxed and happy-go guy, but I would absolutely love to be in Dublin in August.
And what are your coaches saying to you? Just to like, are they like, don't worry, don't push it, like, don't rush it, because really, you have the title now, so it's sort of like.
Yeah, they've always been in the opinion of you. Like, I'm only 24. For me, it's not a matter of if, it's when. So if it, I do want it this year. If I don't get it in August, I believe I'll get it by the end of the year, as long as this whole COVID-19 situation's up. There's obviously not much any of us can do about that situation, but I can only do what's in my power, and I believe I'll be there this year. I believe they know who I am, and I'm close. And
Rhys, how's this? When you go to the UFC, will it be at welterweight or will it be at lightweight, or will you do a bit of bouncing?
No, I'm that's me welterweight for now. Welterweight through and through. Lightweight's it's just too much, and like towards the last fights my professional, like my last few fights, like lightweight was way too much. So I've made the right decision in going to welterweight, and I feel fantastic.
You were even a featherweight at one stage, am I right?
I was even a flyweight at that stage.
Yeah, but you're quite tall.
Yeah.
You're quite tall.
Yeah. Well, my first ever amateur fight I was 57 kilo, and I must have been about 5'10", 5'11".
No wonder they called you Skeletor.
That's why they call me Skeletor, I think. I'm a beanpole. I'm just like a lamppost.
Unbelievable. And does it ever sort of bug you to see the way Joy Herbert got signed with the UFC, and like you got him out of there? Do you ever like look at someone else and be like, I'm better than him, I should already be there?
No, I'm just not that guy. Like I believe if you ask Joy Herbert, I would say I was one of the first people to message him and congratulate him. I'm very big on everybody doing their own journey, and I've nothing against them people at all. Like, I believe once I get to the same division, like, I'll shine above them all, and that's not what it's about. But I just believe my journey is destined to be one of the best in the country or in the world.
What gives you that confidence again, Rhys?
Yeah, I just know I can get through anything. I believe I'm one of the best of the world and finding a way to win in a fight. I might not be the best striker or grappler or wrestler, but I find a way to win better than most, and I'm resilient, and you can't beat the guy that doesn't give up. So, it's that's why I'm so confident. You know, maybe a bit of young and naive is in there too, but I'll take that as well.
Nice. And Rhys, how do you actually stack yourself up against the other welterweights in the UFC?
Yeah, I think, you know, on my Twitter the other night I called out Mike Perry. You know,
I saw that.
Yeah,
that would be
I
great.
love that fight.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's not me calling him out in a way where I think like, oh, let's get a bit of attention. Like, I think I could go in there and give him a very, very good go. I class myself very high. I class myself 100% number one in the Cage Warriors welterweight division. Like, I don't see anyone posing me any threats. And then in Cage Warrior or in UFC, I believe I'm right up there.
What about our friend Ian Gary? How'd you rate him?
What is it?
How'd you rate our friend Ian Gary?
No, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. I think Ian, like me and Ian would talk close to daily as well. You know, Ian's a stud, and you know, I think in the next few years, Ian will be in the UFC as well. I believe he'll hold the Cage Warriors title after me. I believe he'll be the next in line. So I believe he's in the fast track here as well, and he's one of the few like that doesn't need to put in these years of graft. Same as myself. You know, we have a quick journeys, and I believe we're both destined for massive, massive things.
Yeah, and I'd agree with that. I'd totally agree with that.
Definitely, I think between yourself, Ian Gary, and then like Paul Hughes is another name I think that people are talking about on the rise of Irish MMA. Like they're sort of like young, you know, you three are young, hungry guys who are like, I suppose, going to put Irish MMA back on the map.
Yeah, 100%. You know, and we've been in the kind of same conversation as like the last kind of 12 months, and now it's really starting to rise. Paul Hughes being very local. You know, it's a great time for Irish MMA, and you know, you have a few other names coming that are, you know, maybe haven't had the best results recently, but like Joe McColgan and Decky McAleenan, they're studs, you know. So these are guys I train with in the regular, and it's exciting times. And you know, we're all as one. I'm not one of these guys that'll talk and try and down talk anybody in the country, or you know, I'm all for us all getting the best we can.
Yeah, but what's great about, you know, the sort of uprising from you guys and Cage Warriors as well is that like the goal is get the UFC and then like be successful in the UFC, but like that also gives better opportunity to bring UFC back to Dublin, UFC back to Belfast. I mean, and like we've been lacking UFC shows quite a lot recently. You know what I mean? And it probably was almost deterred people from watching Cage Warriors almost because like there's less of that crossover. But once you guys will start crossing over, people will then go back to watching Cage Warriors. Like they came from there. Let's see who else is there.
Yeah, it's like a massive big power circle, like where we're just going to like, you know, say I get to the UFC, I fight in the UFC, then the UFC have a look in Cage Warriors, and so does everybody watching, and then next thing Ian and Paul and Decky and they all, you know, so everybody benefits off each other's things. So, you know, no, absolutely, but I believe we're coming in their next wave of like MMA. You know, we obviously had it with McGregor and all the Dublin fighters and all, but I think we're due another turn here.
And the same way, I think you guys are going to bring UFC to Dublin. I think Mason Jones looks like someone who's going to bring UFC back to Wales as well.
Yeah, he's fantastic too. And I know I keep saying this, but I would text him on the daily too. This is all I do.
I just text all the champs.
Yeah, depends on everyone.
No, Mason's a good guy, and he's serious high level. You know, it was almost tough watching him and Joe because they're both fighters that I rate so high. And you know, Mason, he was amazing in the fight. I don't think anybody can fault him. So I believe he'll have one defense, and then I say we'll see him in the UFC as well.
Rhys, it seems like you're good mates with a lot of people, so that therefore will make you a nice guy. So I think you're going to have to call out Stephen Wonderboy Thompson for the NMF title.
The nicest part. I would love to fight him. That'd be a fantastic fight.
Yeah, we previously had him on the show as well. He's literally one of the nicest guys ever. Literally.
Bring him in the Zoom. Bring him in the Zoom call now.
We'll have to give him a shout.
You know, if I had his number, he'd actually probably join. No, he's actually that nice guy.
Me calling him out, probably.
Yeah, he probably would.
But
you go, oh hi, Mr. McKee. That would be lovely to fight you.
Yeah. No, he's cool. He is very cool. But like Rhys, like when UFC Dublin was announced, like literally I checked Twitter straight away, and your name was just one of the top names, and like people were like, he has to be on it. How did you make that when you found out UFC was coming to Dublin? Like what just came into your mind straight away? You know.
Well, like as you said, like I didn't actually see the announcement. I just seen people tagging like I have to be on this, have to be on this. Like all these like has to be.
Yeah.
That was my first thing, and you know how can you argue like? And this isn't me saying this to sell myself, but there's no one else in the island that deserves that fight more. There's nobody with the winning record or the amount of fights or had the world titles or been in cage. Do you know what I mean? Like it makes perfect sense for me. The only thing holding me back is that I'm in a contract with Cage Warriors, but that's probably the best people to have a contract with when it's talking about the UFC. So listen, I feel I have to be on that card if they're here.
I'm sure Graham will let you have your shot as well.
Yeah, well, good for them too.
Yeah,
absolutely. I must say that's one thing I think needs to be said about Graham Boylan. He never stands in anyone's way for opportunity. He really doesn't. He like a lot of sort of companies will try and build themselves out to be the best, but like they're happy enough to be the European, British, and Irish feeder league for the UFC, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with being the feeder league for the UFC, especially when you push out the talent that those guys have pushed out.
Yeah, and look at the relationship they have now. Like they put on the fight with Darren Stewart, on their Cage Warriors card, and Dana White sharing their event. Do you mean like I don't think Dana White's probably ever shared anybody else's event on his Instagram for like so that shows the relationship they have.
Probably not.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Like, why would he? He's the top.
Yeah.
Well,
Rhys, like the thing is, we really wanted to have you on just to like talk to you before you made your stride straight into the UFC. Obviously, when your fight gets announced in the UFC, we're gonna have to have you on again, and wish you good luck as well.
Yeah, well, all being well, my next one is the UFC. It could be Cage Warriors in Belfast in September, but
well, either or.
Either we'll have a chat again, absolutely.
And quick question for you, Rhys, just on that. Just so you don't get Mike Perry, is there anyone else you have lined up who you'd like to get a hold of?
I'd love to fight Curtis Condit or Donald Cerrone.
Jeez, you want all the names anyway. You don't want a soft opener anyway.
No, Mickey Gall would be good too.
Yeah, Mickey Gall.
Oh, I like that fight. Yeah.
There you go.
Would you be able to take him serious coming out to that song? Would you be able to take Mickey Gall serious coming out to "Hey Mickey, you're so fine"?
I can't let go of my one song, but I mean, I would definitely maybe do a remix.
What are you coming out to, Rhys?
I use a Post Malone song. It's called "Congratulations."
Oh yeah, no, I like it.
That's great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and is that your go-to song now forever? Is that it?
Maybe not forever, but I've had it the last five fights, and anytime I hear it, it gives me goosebumps. So until that stops, I'll keep using it, I think.
That's brilliant.
Perfect. Mary, what?
No, I was just going to say, Rhys, thanks a million, man, for coming on the show. Do you have anything else to say, Ross, before we wrap it up?
No, Rhys. I was actually just going to ask you, who was your sporting hero when you were growing up?
Oh, good question. You know what? I've always liked the Northern Irish kind of guys, like George Best and the Framptons, and anybody from now. I've kind of like. I mean, I like George Best. I know he's like a footballer that's passed now, but I mean, I think it's hard not to find inspiration in someone from the same island that's went to the top.
Fair enough. We're both Man United fans, so we love Georgie Best. So like, no messing here. But again, Rhys, thanks so much for your time. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on. We'll definitely have you on again soon. If you are watching this video, guys, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and as always,
stay energized.